So there's the larger tub. Let's move my hats here for a second. So all of my clothing for the year fit in this tub, aside from running gear. So all of my 4 seasons worth of clothes, pants, shorts, underwear, t-shirts, button-down shirts, you name it. Thermals, which were very important because I'm cold all the time, all went in here. And if you choose your clothing properly, like I tried to most of the time, if you buy things like icebreaker wool t-shirts and other wool products, you can wear them 3, 4, 5 days sometimes even without washing them, and they don't stink. The key to keeping your clothes from stinking is washing your body. So I'd always try and find a campground with a shower. And then there's these 2 stackable plastic containers, also from the Container Store, that fit again nicely in here. You can see how I was stacking and working everything to make sure it all fit in nicely and it was accessible. You can see these here are the lids for the other 2 that I don't use the lids for. I don't put anything on there, I just leave them accessible. So these 2 are, the top one is sort of miscellaneous accessory clothing, hats, gloves, raincoat, things like that, and then this is all my running gear. Let's take a look. What's in the 2 small containers here? Spare 3-liter hydration bladder. When I was running at Olympic National Park in Washington, I started going, man, I'm sweating a lot, and like my shorts are sweating. That's just weird. And what I found out is the bladder that I had sprung a leak and was basically leaking out slowly, luckily, down the back of my shorts. So I immediately went out and bought another one because I needed it, and then a second so that I had a backup. The reason I did that is because sometimes it was difficult to get things delivered to me. So this is sort of one of those things that is single point of failure, right? Or you want to have a backup. So this is something that I have a backup. Hats, running hats, knit hats. Fedora won't fit in the box, it'll get crushed. It's kind of gotten beat up anyway. Compression socks, rain shell, not a running rain shell, but just a raincoat. Winter gloves, I did use these when running. These are just LL Bean ski gloves that I have. Knit winter hat, also merino wool. It's a little itchy, it's not too bad, but it doesn't stink and dries pretty fast, so that's nice. Stays warm when wet. Another winter hat. This is the Patagonia shell. The name is escaping me, but anybody who knows these things know they're fabulous. The name will come back to me probably as soon as I turn the camera off. But Houdini, I think. But they pack up really small, very light. It's got a hood, and I carry this when I think I might hit some kind of rain or inclement weather, or even just be a little chilly at different points of the run. Have used that. Arm warmers. And keep putting things in front of my face. Woo, you can see me. Arm warmers. I've also used these. Never thought I'd be a fan, but I've tried them and I like them a lot because you can roll them down, you get hot, roll them back up when you're cold. Lighter weight running gloves. My gaiters, Dirty Girl gaiters, which I've also used quite a bit. Here, I should do this. And rain pants. And I didn't use, where are they? Yeah, I didn't use the, I have a pair of not crampons, but sort of traction device, back tracks kind of things. And I didn't end up having to use those, which is good, but it's nice to have, just in case. This is my other running hat. This is a Mission EnduraCool, which I like. Works pretty well. I'm not sure if I noticed a drastic difference, but yeah, it did keep my head pretty cool when I'm running. This one needs to be washed. in between here, in this little sort of crevice between the two plastic tubs, I keep my Running Buddy pouch. This is a thing that I only use on short runs because normally I'm carrying a pack on the longer ones and I don't need it. But it's a little pouch where you can keep your phone and your keys. It's waterproof on the inside, so your sweat's not going to make your phone get all funny. And the back is kind of microfiber, so it doesn't chafe. And what it does is they use magnets to have it tuck in your shorts, tuck it down, snaps shut, and stays in place. Works pretty well. So they have these for all different size phones. They have small ones that you can use for just a key, and yeah, it works great. So that goes in there. And then this case here is all my running clothes. Winter clothes. I have a pair of tights in here. I think 5 or 6 pairs of running shorts. I think 2 or 3 pair of two or three long sleeve running shirts, and about 4 or 5 short sleeve shirts. So short sleeve shirts. Everything I tend to roll up because I can jam it in here easier. Socks, my Balega socks, and that seemed to work out well. I don't think there's anything else interesting in here except for, as you can see, running clothes. So that's all my clothes for all 4 seasons, which I did actually incur all 4 seasons during this trip. I tried to make it where I'm not running in super cold weather, but there definitely were runs that I needed the long sleeve stuff, I needed the shells, and I'm glad I had it. So when you're out running in the national parks, and a lot of these places are really remote, you don't have the opportunity to wake up the morning before the run and just drive over to the REI. There may not be a sporting goods store for 60, 80, 100, 120 miles sometimes, especially one that would have exactly what you want. So I try to think ahead as much as possible. I learned a little of it on the way as well, but I think I packed pretty well. And so that is this side of the car. Slide these things back. So you may have noticed that the GoPro case and the 2 small plastic containers are on top of the clothes. So yes, every time I needed to go in to get some clothes out of this big bin, I did have to take these 2 small things out. Didn't really bother me. Wasn't that big a deal. So you have to make some sacrifices and adjustments as you go along, and that was one of them. So not too bad. And I had along the top here, which I don't know if you can see, in between the handles where you hold on to get into the car and get out, I strung a small bungee cord and put clothespins along there. So I would hang up things that needed to dry. I'd hang the hydration bladder upside down so that it would drain onto one of those bar towels. Very useful tool. And also my camp towel for when I was camping, I'd hang it over there so it would dry as well. So this is the back.